Bob was trying very hard. It was very tense. Bob was aghast. The big white grizzly that was a great deal larger than he was. Bob looked at the huge grizzly who looked back at him. I have never seen the like. Bob's voice was weak. He could barely croak out his words. The grizzly slowly moved nearer. Its eyes were large and bloodshot. The big beast growled, and showing his huge teeth, swiped his huge paw at Bob. The bear swiped it again with its paw. Bob was so scared, he just let go of the handle and the axe slipped out of his hands, rolled out of his hands and the axe hit the ground. The bear roared, charged at Bob, who by this time was screaming. Bob leaped into the bushes to escape the enraged grizzly. Before he knew it, the bear was almost on top of him. Bob then remembered he had a knife. He reached into his back pocket and pulled out the knife. He didn't have any bullets with him. A snowstorm was breaking out and the grizzly was getting colder and colder. The bear ran away. The next morning, Bob got out of his sleeping bag. It was a sunny morning and it was snowing heavily. He decided to try his luck out in the area where he fought the bear. Bob saw his axe by the tree where he cut down his firewood. Bob picked up his axe and started hacking at the tree. As he was hacking, he heard a growl in the bushes, turned around, and almost dropped his axe. A huge bear was staring at him. Bob thought he was about to die. But the bear looked away and leaped at the tree and fell to the ground. Bob began hacking at the tree again, and this time when he swung the axe, the blade hit the bear's snout, as the bear began to bleed. The wound that Bob had given the bear was nothing but a minor scratch, and so the bear leaped at Bob again. Bob put his axe up, grabbed hold of his sword, which he always carried with him at all times, and stabbed at the bear. At first the bear thought it was another bear. It lashed out with its paws, but Bob easily dodged the blows, and so the bear swung at Bob with his claws. Bob was expecting that move, and so the claws missed him, and so did the claws as they slid on the snow. He stabbed the bear again, and once again the blade hit the bear's snout and Bob slashed the big bear's neck. It was then that Bob made up his mind. He wanted to go back to the tribe. He didn't want to get killed on his way back. So he quickly crawled behind a tree and hid. The bear went off, and so did Bob. On his way back to the camp, Bob heard something strange. He couldn't make out what it was. He stopped and waited. He thought that he had been chased and he had fallen, and so he decided to hide in a tree to see what was chasing him. But when he looked down, he didn't see anything. Suddenly he heard something. He slowly crawled down from the tree, and there he saw the bear with its back to him. It seemed to have some sort of object in its hands. The bear turned and looked Bob straight in the eyes. The bear then slowly charged towards Bob. The fight went on for about a minute. Bob kept his sword high, and so did the bear. The bear was getting stronger. But at last Bob was able to stab the bear in its weak spot, its back, and so killed the bear. Bob was a little bit sad because he couldn't show them the treasure chest of gold and silver that he had found. On his way back to the tribe he heard growling again. It sounded much nearer this time. Bob was worried. The roar came closer and closer, and so did Bob's fear. He saw the bear charging towards him. Bob quickly threw his axe at the bear, and so did the bear. Bob swung his sword again, but the blade missed its mark as the animal was too quick. Bob threw his axe in the air, and with the bear in hot pursuit, the bear managed to knock Bob to the ground, and the claw of the bear was about to rip Bob's belly open when a giant horse came out of nowhere and ran over the bear and killed it. Bob shouted, "Thank you." The huge horse looked at Bob and said, "I saw you fighting that bear and I thought you looked hungry, so I brought you something to eat." Bob was amazed and asked the horse, "Who are you?" The horse said, "I am Blue Thunder. I am the only horse in the whole wide world who can fly. I used to be a team rider for the army, but after the army, I started helping out with the search for the heir of the kingdom. I was very good at searching for the heir. A short while after I started, I fell for the female snow leopard. I had never met any female snow leopards before, and I loved her very much. Her name was Snowflake, and she was very beautiful. I had my eyes set on Snowflake. I never told Snowflake my feelings, though. I wanted her to like me, so I thought the best thing to do was to let her think that I was in love with another female snow leopard. That's why I used to see her every now and then, until I found out that Snowflake was in love with me. So I stopped seeing Snowflake. She and I used to be friends. We used to be together all the time. I was heartbroken when I found out that she loved me. That is why I don't trust any of the female snow leopards." So Bob and Blue Thunder went along to the tribe and told